And 3, 2, 1, we're live. All right. Welcome to Digital Marketing Monday. This is episode 55. And today we're going to be bringing you two special peeps in our life. We've got Kaylee and Sarah with us today. And these are two of our wonderful, wonderful clients. And they're going to be helping us break down the launch process, help you break down your launch process, help you get prepped up, ready to go in the right headspace, in the right marketing space, doing all the right ish and shit so you can go out and produce in your next launch. So we are going to be shining the light on these two amazing ladies today. How you guys doing today? Y'all good? Y'all keeping it real? They're in Canada too, so pray for them.
Doing great.
We need it.
I like it. Yes, all prayers for Canada. Before we dive into today's episode, say what's up. All right, if you're in the comment section, say hello. Melissa Brown, what's up? Good to see you. Prayers your way, Melissa. Lost in the family. Definitely know how you feel. So prayers, energy. There are no such thing as losses. So I'm gonna correct myself. There are no such thing as losses. So my condolences to you, my friend. Prayers for you and your family. Yes, make Canada free again. All 100%. Vonnie, what up? What's up? New mama in the house. Okay, making it live. All right. So we're gonna break some shit down today before we dive in. If you're new to this group, if you're new to me, say what's up. Takoya, what's up, man? Good to see you, sir. Make sure that you got Digital Marketing Monday on your calendar. Go to your Google Calendar, put it on there, say, you know what? Take out everything that else is important in your life and put in there. 12 o'clock Eastern. We're here live for you to pull back the curtain, which we're doing today, on what's working for our clients. We're here to help you put together a clear marketing plan and give you access to templates that can make marketing your coaching business easier. All right. And like I said, today, what we're doing is we're breaking down the launch process that we use, that Kaylee and Sarah just went through, that helped them do a little quick 20K in 4 days, and the same launch process that we'll execute as we prepare for their first $100,000 month. All right. So let's get into it. Sarah, Kaylee, let's where were you guys? Tell me a little bit about recap of where you've been over the last year or so, coaching, helping, all the things. Tell us a little bit about your business.
Sure, I'll start. So my name's Sarah Easterbrook. I was VP of sales for a top consultant in the industry, and I helped generate over $6 million in revenue by creating an award-winning sales team. And Kaylee was part of my team, and we're just excited to bring what we have to offer to other coaches and consultants.
Love it.
Yeah, so I was part of Sarah's sales team and loved everything about it. Loved working for a coach, but also coaching myself. Stepped into my passion and my purpose early this year and created something crazy awesome with Sarah. So I brought in over $500,000 myself last year, which is super exciting, but now we're here.
So I think it's really good to note that, because I know a lot of people, they're in that space where they're kind of affiliates for something else, right? I know I started off in the network marketing space and then kind of drifted really heavy into affiliate marketing, and everything has little different little quirks to it, but at the same time, you guys were selling somebody else's program, right? And that's always good. But what made you guys say, you know what, it's time to branch out on our own? Because there's a lot of people that are listening to this, and either they're afraid to kind of go all in with their own coaching business, their own coaching practice, or they're in that situation that you guys are in where you're selling somebody else's thing, and there's this little birdie or unicorn or squirrel or some type of like, mystical animal that's telling you, do your own shit. It's time for you to break away. Like, what made you guys say, you know what? It's time to do my own thing. I need to be my own rapper. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z can't hold me down no more.
Oh my gosh. First of all, can we bottle this energy and sell it at a premium price? I'd be the first one to distribute it. So I do a lot of personal development. Like I'm religious in it. I've been doing it for 20 years, but the last year and a half, I've really been studying mindset and studying specifically Bob Proctor. And he talks about being the star of your show. And as much as I loved what I was doing, that little unicorn in the back of my head said, you're never going to shine if you're standing in somebody else's shadow. So that was my cue to let my wings go and fly.
Yeah. And for me, I think because I was doing all the things, and same as Sarah, like I really dove into mindset last year, and it completely changed my whole life with just doing a program. That when I got into it and I started seeing the shift in my life and the change in my life, and I was doing all the things and I was coaching, I had so many questions through my head, like, why can't I do this by myself? Why do I have to be here? And I knew what it would be like I knew what it was like to be successful underneath somebody else's mentorship. But I always had the feeling of like, can I do this on my own? Should I do this on my own? And then I just took the leap and did it. And oh God, it feels good.
And new baby.
Two now.
Yeah. Because that you gotta throw that, they gotta throw that stuff in there, because I mean, trust me, we all know that.
2 under 2. Like 2 under 2.
That should be illegal. You shouldn't be allowed to have.
Well, I started the whole journey when I was on mat leave with Noah, my first, and he was, I think, 6 months old. And then when I made the decision to take the leap, did I have Lauren yet? I just had Lauren. No? I don't remember.
Yeah.
I had her in February. Yeah, so I had just had Lauren. She was maybe a month old, and I was like, screw it, let's do it.
Right. So for all you moms and dads out there who think they can't bring in $500,000 to $1 million with kids, come talk to Kaylee.
Yeah, you can do it. You can do it. It's funny. I know everybody's different, and everyone, especially as women, we as humans, we all operate in different ways and different situations. And I think that kind of brings up the same point that I wanted to make with you guys was, it's one thing to recognize if you have like number one capability. And so what I mean by that is like, if you know that you have number one capability and like your brand, your mission, your company, you have, sometimes it's okay to get that mentorship, because I know for a fact, like, you guys may not be where you were right now if you didn't have that mentorship or working under someone and, doing the thing for someone else. Right. If you haven't read the book, How to Get Rich, I think the book's called How to Get Rich. It's the dude that owns Maxim magazine. All right, guys. So like, this is a really good book, but he talks about when you are that number one person, when you can recognize your number one capability, even if you have to be a number two under someone else for a while, when you become the number one, you also have to create an environment where other number twos are going to become number ones, right? And a lot of times when we're building our coaching practices and we're starting to build a team, we can get afraid of like, oh, like who's going to take over? Or like, are they going to go leave and do their own thing? And we need to have that energy that now, like, we want people to go do their own thing, right? Like, we want people to say, hey, let me go do my own shit. right? I want to prepare our entire team to be able to go launch and do their own thing if they wanted to, right?
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
I just love the way you guys stepped out and did that. And I like it.
And me personally, I would not even be here if I wasn't somebody's number two. If I wasn't able to learn everything that I could learn under somebody else, right? Like I'd still be working at a grocery store right now.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the biggest things that like I hold dear to my heart is that all the people that do come and work with us and do the things with us, I want to see you grow. I want to see you shine. I want to be able to help you to get to the point where you can say, okay, I'm ready to do it all myself.
Right. And if they don't want to, there's people out there that are amazing number twos, right? And it's our job when we are ready to step into that number one. I think this is a really, really, really big point, because I know how big of a turning point this was for me, and it's clearly it's been a big turning point for you guys. And so I want our audience to really take it. Like, does that help for everyone listening? Like, does in some way, does it like resonate with you, or like does it like hit you in a way that you're like, man, like maybe I've been so focused on being a number one and I haven't gotten the results that I wanted to yet. Like maybe I could find someone to be their number two. Like how could you go and find a mentor that you can give your time and your energy and your space to? And if you evolve into saying like, you know what, I'm just not a number one. Right. I realize that there's people on our team that just aren't number ones, and they thrive in being a number two. Right. And being that behind the scenes person, I mean, you can make a lot of money still being a number two. So I want people to know that. Right.
Yep.
So you said, you know what, we're doing our own shit. I'm going to go out there. We're making it happen. Right. I'm doing that thing. And then, we connected and you said, all right, like look, we need to look at your offer. Okay. So like, after we connected, like, let's talk about offer before we even talk about launch, because like in our process, we hammer this down. If you're a client of ours, then you probably know our process almost better than us, because we just, jam it. It's offer first, right? So where do you guys feel like your offer was before we started working together, and where the offer is developing now? Because you guys made some big pivots in the offer, and I don't think we have to go into the details, but it did keep you guys out of some fucking hot water. And I think it really and it really helped you guys get to a place where I think you feel better about this going forward, right?
Yeah. So our first offer was like, it was like, a drunken bachelorette night. Like it was all over the place, like hopping around. Like we had no idea. We just kind of went with it, and we got a few clients. Like right out of the gate, we got 5 clients, and we were just lost. And then Ryan came along and was able to like put us in order. He gave us food and some Advil and some water, sobered us up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I think it was because, well, we had an idea, and then we kind of steered away from it to the thing that we knew. Started doing that, and then when we got back with Ryan, he's like, no, like write it down, and that's what made it clear to us, is that writing it down, and like we literally did a 180 pivot, like went the opposite way of what we were doing.
There's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with that. I think one of the biggest things that I would say with you guys that I love about working with you guys is like you take action, right? And I think if we're talking to this audience before we really dive into, like, all right, like how'd you guys do this in this launch, and how it can help me in my next launch, it's also understanding like where your offer is, but are you taking action in that offer right now? Because if you're not taking action, then I don't care who you hire, what course you go through, what event you go through. Like if you're not taking the wrong action now, then you're not going to take the right action later. You know what I mean? And the thing that you guys did was you just took action, period. Right. So I just want to know, who's listening to the sound of our voices today and is ready to take action? Because it's like a lot of us, we just keep like telling ourselves that we're going to take action. Like, tell somebody else, tell the world, like tell this community, like commit to taking action, or nothing that you hear today is going to actually, push you to do something that you hadn't done before. You feel? So
Ryan, my favorite quote from Tony Robbins is, information without execution is poverty.
Right. I think I don't know who said this. Could have been Jesus. Could have been Gandhi. Could have been me. I don't know. Not to compare myself to those guys, but if the shoe fits, if the shoe fits,
Yeah.
but you'll get more insight from action than you'll ever get action from insight. Right. And so like a lot of us
we were talking, was it last week? I think we were on a call, and I said, Ryan, listen, I have so many freaking courses. Like I am in information overload. And I think that's what it is we absorb all of this information. We have everything at our fingertips, but we're lacking the action. And that's where you came in and changed everything for us.
Right, because it's like if and those courses are great. The books on your shelf are great. The courses that you've got on your shelf, your digital shelf, those are great. A lot of us we get in this lack energy when we have courses because we've paid money for them. And it's the same thing. Like if you've bought a book, you don't feel the same way about the book because you only paid $14 for the book, but you may have paid $1,400 for the program. So now you feel the energy of like, I have to go through this. I need to go through this. But if we took the same energy to your bookshelf and you said, you know what, I have books on my bookshelf that I know I haven't read yet, but I don't need to read them yet. Right. But if I had a book about how to fix my tooth on my bookshelf, and then someone comes and punches me in the mouth and chips my tooth, and now I can go to say, you know what, I'm going to go read that fucking book, right? Because it's on my stuff. Okay, I know, analogy king over here.
What an analogy!
Like that's the thing that we have to start looking at about our businesses and our life. It's like, what are you going through right now? And do you have the thing on your bookshelf that you can go to right when you're going through the thing? And so it really comes down to self-awareness. And I think that's what you guys have is like being able to understand like where you are, being able to allocate that to your coaches and to your mentors and say, look, this is where we are. This is like the thing that we believe we need to accomplish based on like what we've said. And then do we have the resources to then take action on that thing? And so, I hope that helps. I hope that helps somewhat. Right. And so as we kind of drift into the launch, you guys, we pivot on the offer a little bit. Right. We dial in, get some things in order to get you guys in line, all right, give you guys some direction, stability, and then you guys just say, you know what, let's go for the launch. So what was different about our launch process than maybe some other launch processes or stresses that you've done in the past?
You gave us everything. Like we literally did the offer and launched like the next day, and we just followed your exact steps. Like you gave us the exact steps. Like it was plug and play. It was plug and play.
That's what I was going to say. Especially when it comes to launching, there's so many questions that can go through your head when you're about to launch. The easiest thing with your process was you gave it to us. You're like, do this, 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 and this. And how easier can it get? Like, just do this, and this is what you're going to do. And that's what we did, and boom.
Kaylee and I came from, doing launches, but extensive launches. So when we were doing this, we're like, are you sure? Is that it? And like, it was so successful. It was easy. I'm going to say it's easy, but I'm not going to say that running a business is easy because it's not, and you're going to fall on your face 100 times over again. But the process you gave us was very easy to follow.
And that's what we want. We want first of all, we want to let people know that like launching doesn't have to be a strenuous process. It doesn't have to be a crazy process. There is work to be done. And so depending on where you are in your business, then there are certain things that you may or may not have to do, because sometimes certain people have already done that work, right? We want to make sure that you're doing work that is going to be done once, maybe a little bit of adjusted, but once it's done, it's rinse and repeat. Okay. And that's what we want you to feel like. It's like, look, stick to it. Copywriting is probably one of the hardest things for most people to grasp. To get your message dialed in, to write words in a way that makes people buy and resonate. And you guys said you guys got some really good feedback just from like the copy templates that we gave you, right?
Yeah, so I'm in a mastermind. I mastermind with some people every other weekend, and they actually brought it up to me. They said, Sarah, like your message has changed. I really liked how engaging it was. Like it really sucked me in to read the entire post and to go through. And they registered and they showed up, and they watched our launch, and we got amazing feedback.
And that's the beauty of like simplicity. Like I think so many of us, we get caught in like that same thought process of it can't be this easy. It can't be this easy, right?
Yeah.
But if you just get to that starting line of the launch and understanding that launches don't have to be, again, they don't have to be crazy. They can be simple. And I think one of the things that we want everyone to understand about launching is like, launching is a good thing. Launching creates momentum, and we need to get in the groove of launching every 6 weeks. Almost every, I look at launching as like I launch every week. I launch a Facebook Live every week. So I create the energy around one thing a week, and then it's like a bigger launch every 6 weeks, right? And if we get in that habit of like, building your business, like, and creating momentum launch to launch, it'll create that momentum each week. It'll create that momentum between the 6 week bigger launches. And if you just rinse and repeat that cycle, I mean, your business can become this beautiful machine. You guys are starting to hire now. You guys are starting to get into some places where, we'll prep up for the next launch, because now the type of offer that you guys have, $10,000 type of offer for a high level coach. And I want to dive into the offer that you guys are, that you're creating for these coaches, because I think it's really necessary. And I want to dive into that as we kind of wrap up. But, when we create momentum through that 6 weeks, so you can have daily client enrollment after your launches, right? And it can become a very rinse and repeat process. So you guys are developing a product, a offer for coaches, and you're helping them get setters. You're helping them get people to actually close their deals. Okay, I love this because it often makes me think of like personal trainers. If you're a personal trainer or you're a fitness coach and you do shit with clients, right? Because we all want to do shit with clients in some way. When you're with a client, you're not getting a client. Okay. And we all have to understand that every time you are physically giving a client your time, that means you're not making money. Okay. And eventually you need people that are setting appointments for you. You need people closing for you. And at some point, you're probably going to need people actually fulfilling for you if you want to build a coaching practice that creates freedom for you. Okay. So tell us a little bit about like kind of where your offer is now, like where it's going, and like how you're helping coaches that are in that space of like, they've got leads coming in. They're having conversations daily, and now they need to get to a place where, hey, who can start to take over some of those things for me? Because you may not be there yet, but eventually you will be there. So tell us about that a little bit.
Yeah, so like Ryan said, right? If you're running an online business, you're the one launching, you're probably lead generating, you're doing the posting, you're doing the copying and the emailing, you're building relationship with your inbound leads, and you're doing the closes. So it really takes up a lot of space in your calendar. It doesn't leave enough space for, growing a team, getting your business in other markets, strategic collaborations with different partnerships, as well as spending time with your loved ones. Because let's be real here. We got into this because we want to create time and financial freedom. Now the finances might be coming in, but the time sure is not coming in. So currently, right now, Kaylee and I are training 17 appointment setters, and they're going to speak the language because we come from a background of high ticket sales, coaching mostly, personal development, and we are training them to speak the language. We teach the KPIs, we teach the ROIs, we teach all the stuff that essentially you really don't have time to do. And we come in and we work with your warm market. We build relationships with them. We do the pre-qualifying to make sure that they're speaking to your perfect client before you waste your time with no shows, before you waste your time getting on calls with people who aren't even your perfect client. And so that's what we're doing right now.
Right. And one of the things I want to point out, because I know we were talking about this too, who on this, there's about a good handful of people that are hanging out with us today. If you're a woman, put a W in the comment section. Okay. Now, you guys know me. You guys know how I roll, especially from a personal standpoint, right? But I think there's big differences between men and women, right? Because there's only two genders. so everybody knows. But I think that in this space, okay, in the closing space, because there's I know a lot of our coaches, I'd probably say like 6 of 10, maybe 7 of 10 are women. And so, who knows why women resonate with us. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But that's 60 to 70% of our audience is women. A lot of women coaches do work solely with women. Spirituality coaches, hormone coaches, weight loss coach. I mean, name it, right? If you think about the industry itself, and then you think about the closing industry, setters, appointment setters, closers, co-coaches, that kind of thing, fulfillment. What happens is you've got guys like Mike Mark, right? It's a very men-driven industry. It's like hard kind of thing. And what you guys bring to the table is just an authentic, soft touch to authentically closing sales for coaches. And I think it's a very necessary thing as everyone here grows their business. And there's a lot of W's rolling in, right? So I see the ladies representing, but I think it's a huge movement that you guys are creating here. That it doesn't have to be this like men-driven hardcore closer type of thing, that it can be authentic. It can be soft. It can have a woman's touch, but it can still get the job done and get the results that you're looking for. So absolutely love that about you guys. Love working with you guys. You guys are absolutely amazing. Again, if I had to just kind of harp on the thing that I love about you guys is that you take action, and then you bring your action to the table and you say, look, this is what we did, instead of always asking like, hey, should I do this before I do this? Or should I do this? It's like, no, let's take action. The other day, Kaylee shot some videos, and she posted the videos. And she said, look, I want feedback on these. And then we were able to give feedback on the action. And then we're saying like, okay, you can do these. These can be better. This is where you can improve on. This is where you can go on. Instead of telling someone that, hey, we need, videos done, do these videos. She said, fuck it, dude, I'll do the videos and I'll turn them in and I'll get the feedback. And if I got to do them again, I'll do them again. Right. And so that's what I just love the action that you guys take. And when you take that type of action, and you plug it into the type of program that we have for you, that's where you can pull out these $20,000 launches, $50,000 launches. don't see you guys not being able to hit 100K with the type of offer that you guys are developing for these coaches in your next couple launches. So I'm really excited to see you guys do that. Any questions for Sarah and Kaylee before we roll on today's show? And again, I gotta give you guys a shout out again. Just thanks for popping on and sharing life and stories and motherhood and just jamming through. You guys are awesome. Any questions? If you are watching live, pop them on here. Can you guys see the questions thing on here too? Can you all see the comments on here?
No. I can.
Can you see them? Oh, I can't see them.
Now
I can.
Oh. Look at that.
Hey, look, Barbie's on here.
All your friends. Where did you advertise your launch?
In our Facebook group.
And on our personal page. So I started with I did one curiosity post on my personal page that drew people into our Facebook group, and that's where we launched.
Yep. Standard launch. I mean, we'll do launches sometimes outside of Facebook groups depending on who it is. But I think there's, just for the way that Facebook groups work, the things that you can do inside of them. We always want everyone to know that like the psychology of how we plan out these launches can be done other places. It's just when you do them inside of a Facebook group, you get that little cherry on top. You get that little extra piece of like, all right, like this is community, right? Yeah. There's unity and community. So if you're on Facebook, highly recommend like use your personal profile just like Sarah did, just like Kaylee did, to then get people into the Facebook group. We also have templates for that. And then we go to go into the Facebook group and do the launch.
I like how you say, Ryan, is that share a few things on your personal page and talk on there, but your Facebook page is like your backyard party. You have to invite them in to come and see all the things and have the fun and gain all the knowledge there rather than just putting it up front. So giving them a place to go.
Yeah.
And I seen somebody said, one curiosity post on your fan page, did you drive paid ads to it? We didn't do any paid ads. We did a few lead magnets. One lead magnet. Yeah. One lead magnet. So we just what was that, Sarah? Which one was that? Oh,
the time management guide.
Yeah. So Sarah created a time management guide. And we just did a curiosity post about who wants it. And then they got to go to the group to get it.
Yeah. I mean, a group can literally be your business if done correctly and done well, especially if the majority of your time on social media is spent on Facebook. Facebook groups are, I mean, they're your sales mechanism. But what we see so often is like people want to treat their Facebook group kind of like their personal page, and then they're just like posting on it and it's just random. Like I keep my personal page personal. There's some business on there. I sprinkle in a few business things, right? And that's what we teach. But at the end of the day, it's your Facebook group should be very intentional, right? They're there for a reason. It's a less is more type of thing. You don't need to post in it every day. It needs to be set up the right way so when people go through it, it can be a sales mechanism, not just a place where you just post random things. And so the difference between a Facebook group that we help people build versus what we've seen other people build with their Facebook groups is just it's random thousands of people in it, or do you want really intentional, like hundreds of people in it? You know what I mean? And so which one's going to make you feel better? Having a Facebook group of 10,000 people or having a Facebook group of 1,000 people that does 100K a month because it's intentional, right?
Mm-hmm.
We see.
And it's more personable, right?
Yeah.
Like you can connect easier with 1,000 than you can 10,000. However, if you do have 10,000 people in your group, please contact us because we would like to help you chat with all of those people.
Get those appointments set. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get it done. You know, when it comes to business pages, guys, business pages are I mean, they don't do anything. They don't reach anybody.
No.
The only reason you have a business page is so you can run ads. And no one's ever gonna go to that business page ever.
Yeah.
No, ever. There's no point.
I've had my business page for 7 years and I have 500 likes.
Yeah, and it's still it doesn't matter anymore. It does not matter anymore. It's a null and void type of thing. So you know, we'll be dropping some things. I think we've got some cool things brewing when it comes to Facebook groups and some cool stuff. So we'll and that's a valid question. I think that for where Facebook was years ago, people, and you still see other people's fan pages pop up, especially our business pages, where you want to call it. They still pop up, but they're likely popping up either because they are, what do they call, like a validated page or something like that. So super celebrity, or you're seeing it because they're running an ad, and typically that ad isn't even on that news feed. It's behind the news feed. So usually don't see anything newsfeed wise coming up. It just doesn't reach anybody. So you've got much better reach in a Facebook group these days, with an intentional Facebook group, because you may have noticed your own feed is filled with group stuff. It's filled with you'll get, you know, every 4 posts you'll see an ad, but every 4 to 6 posts you're also going to see a post from one of your Facebook groups that Facebook is saying, hey, you're in this group, here's content, where Facebook did not used to do that. You used to have to go into the Facebook group to see the content. Now they're pushing it to the newsfeed. So we'll dive in a little more over the next coming weeks about Facebook groups, building Facebook groups, monetizing your Facebook groups, because it's really cool to be able to say, hey, we are doing $20,000 a month from a group with 300 people in it, I think.
300, yeah.
Right. That's some big bucks per Facebook group member. You know, like we don't have, we could do 100K of revenue in a group with less than 2,000 people. So I was telling you guys, like, it's pretty cool stuff. So check out, make sure you shoot Sarah and Kaylee a friend request. Make sure that you connect with them, shoot them a message, tell them thank you. If you have any questions or anything for them, please let them know. They are really, really awesome. Love having them as a part of this community. And they can help you guys too. You know, we want everyone to feel like they're family in here. All right. So make sure that you reach out and connect people so you can continue to grow as a part of this family. All right. Good deal. Good, ready to go.
Sounds good. Yeah.
All right, guys. Peace. We'll catch you guys later.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye. And in now. All right. Good to go. They're off.